After 23 years at the sharp end of NASCAR, Kevin Harvick has called time on a Cup Series career that began with the pressure of replacing a legend in 2001.
I think as you look at the first win with Dale Earnhardt Sr. passing away and having to take over the car and winning in the third race, there were just a lot of things that really shaped the direction of your career that weren't planned, but also molded you into having to deal with some bigger situations than you'd ever have to deal with again. For me, the first win was really hard to achieve anything greater than that, but we were fortunate to be successful at a lot of different racetracks and winning the Daytona 500 and understanding what winning our sport's biggest race was really all about and the things that came with that. And the other one that sticks out is the 2003 Brickyard 400. I grew up an open wheel fan and a huge Rick Mears fan and always wanted to win an Indy 500, but the Brickyard 400 was pretty darn close and at the same racetrack, and so for me that was a pretty special one to win.
More than a decade at RCR yielded 23 victories before a move to Stewart Haas Racing in 2014. The new number 4 team had an immediate impact.
To change teams and step outside of that box, there's a lot of pressure on you to succeed at whatever you do next. We succeeded, I think, 2 or 3 weeks into the season by winning our first race in 2014 at Phoenix. And for us as a team, that was kind of like okay, we can do this. I don't know that any of us thought that it would wind up in a championship year, but I think as we were able to reflect on winning the last 2 races and winning the championship, we knew that we had a special group of people that could be competitive and win races for years to come.
Over the past decade, the Californian and crew chief Rodney Childers led the 4 team to 37 victories, taking his career total to 60, and built a culture of 100% commitment.
In the beginning, it was really about courting Rodney. I wanted things to go a certain way, and I wanted things to go a certain way, so we had to find this middle road path of how we were going to coexist. We learned that we were very similar in age. We had a very similar background. We raced against each other and didn't know we raced against each other in some of the series that we came up together in. We had a spotter that I raced against that had raced for a long time. And we had a group of guys that everybody on our team came to Stewart Haas Racing because they wanted to work on the 4 car. In order to race at a championship level week in and week out, it takes a full commitment from every person on the team. People are what makes the world go around, and if you want to be good at something, you better have a good group of people around you, because in our world, you can't drive a slow car fast, and I've been fortunate to drive a lot of fast race cars.
He's been nicknamed Happy Harvick and the closer in his career, but there's another reason for his success in over 300,000 miles of racing.
One thing that has kind of been bred from the beginning is the consistency. Consistency in our sport is something that is very important, and being able to work on the car when you get it home and not have it destroyed, and being able to take a 15th or 20th place car and finish top 10 or top 5 with it, and taking that top 5 car and having a chance to win with it. Those are traits that as a race driver you need to have, and I've been fortunate to have learned that at a young age because we couldn't afford to fix our cars. And you had to figure out how to finish up front, or you didn't make enough prize money to make it back to the gate the next weekend, and you didn't need to tear up a bunch of race cars, but you never quit and you always finished races, and that has carried throughout my career.
Just shy of his 48th birthday, fittingly, his final race came at Phoenix, his home track, where he holds the record with 9 Cup Series victories. It was his 1,299th start across NASCAR's top 3 series, another record. So how would he like to be remembered?
If I'm remembered, that's good enough for me. I think as you go through your career, you want to be able to do enough things where people will remember your name and pull your videos up and look at the records and just have some impact scattered over the record books in sport. It's important to have the respect of your peers and them knowing that you were competitive and fierce and also fair and had a firm understanding of the sport and the history of the sport and respecting the things that come with NASCAR racing.